on, but of course here at 3900 Biscayne Boulevard, we are operating on a generator. But let me show you and the people at home some video of downtown Miami. Now, this was a shot taken about Biscayne and Northeast First, and there you see the very reason why police and authorities don't want you to go outside right now. There was a traffic light that was hanging very precariously, and the wind and the rain, actually it is more the wind than the rain. When you get out and you get in that, it stings you in the face. I mean, the velocity of the, I don't know what the wind gusts are at this moment, but I can tell you, you have to fight to keep your feet when you go outside. This is a shot along Flagler Street. Flagler Street, of course, is the main street of downtown Miami. This shot was taken over by the Dade County Courthouse. There you see a palm tree that is bent over in the gusting wind, the swirling rain that is pelting down there on Flagler Street by the Dade County Courthouse. As we were taking this video, I was driving, Jeff King was shooting this video, and I was holding on to the wheel because our van was rocking back and forth in these wind gusts. And this is the way it looks as we drove up Biscayne Boulevard northbound on Biscayne up towards 3900 to Channel 10. I can assure you this is not a time to be out driving anywhere. It is dangerous out there. Now, one of the few places where we found somebody who we found some lights burning was at the Hotel Intercontinental, and I spoke to Rob Schmidt, who is with the hotel, one of about 25 members of the staff and security who are standing guard there tonight. Here's what he said.
The guests, we had made arrangements to relocate them to the various evacuation centers. This morning we brought a Gray Line bus in, and we had 2 departures of groups of guests. The remainder left on their own, whichever means.
Little eerie here in an empty hotel on the night of a hurricane?
Well, it's somewhat different considering the levels of business we've been carrying lately. So, but we're all together in a communications room located on the 3rd floor, and everything's sound.
No problems then?
No problems to report of.
Well, no problems at that moment. However, as you stood there and the wind came howling through the glass doors, you've been through the doors there at the Intercontinental, this whistling sound, it sounds pretty ominous.
It does, and it looks very eerie out there. It must be scary to be out there. Stay inside where it's a little safer.
I will for a while.
Thank you, Michael. We're going to go to Max Mayfield now at the National Hurricane Center, who has an update for us. Max, I assume you can hear me all right.
Hurricane Andrew is continuing on track. It's a little more than an hour away from landfall here in southern Dade County. The eye has opened up a little bit more. The winds are down category 3 to 4 now, but it's still maintaining its track headed for southern Dade County.
All right, that's what we're getting from Max, and I think that you can see from those pictures exactly where it is. We're going now to the home of one of our producers, Arlene Ross, who is a producer here at Channel 10. Her home is in South Dade. Arlene, can you hear me all right?
Yes, but just fine.
Oh, good. Where are you located, Arlene?
147th Avenue, in between Kendall and Sunset.
Uh-huh. How's the weather?
It was always one of my favorite things to be nice and cozy inside my house with a nice rainstorm and a good book. I think I'm going to change my preferences. You can see those bands. You know, we've been looking at the radar and we've been looking at all the mock-ups on the computer, and we got used to the view of the bands of showers. And for a while there, up to about 20 minutes ago, there were definite lulls. And you would get some heavy rain, and then it would get absolutely dead quiet, then it would start up again. For the last 20 minutes or so, it has been a very solid torrential rain, and then you hear this occasional boom with the gusts of wind. So I think I just heard part of my screening go away, but what the hey.
Ha-ha, what the hey. Are you having that freight train syndrome that everybody talks about?
Yeah.
Is that what it sounds like to you?
Yeah, it's a very low rumbling, and it's an odd thing. I haven't lived in this particular house very long, and so there's all those new home noises that are very strange to begin with. But as I go room to room and I'm trying to check things out, there are it's a low rumbling that it almost feels like it's low to the ground.
Do you have screening or a patio of some sort there, Arlene?
Yeah, there's a patio that runs the length of the back of the house, and it is all screened. Well, it was all screened in the last time I looked, Ann.
The last time you saw it, it was screened.
Yeah, if that's the only thing that's gone. You know, the things that you look at in hindsight, the appointment with the hurricane shutter man is next week. The appointment with the guy to cut back the trees in the backyard
next week.
was set for next week.
Well, you may not need him at all. Think of all the money it'll save you,
That's
Arlene.
right. There's going to be great cleanup in the yard.
All right. Thanks so much, and we'll get back to you a little bit later.
And we'll be awake.
Right now we're going to Todd, who's out at our remote up by the Dade-Broward line. Todd, can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I can hear you, and can you hear me over this loud roar?
Yes, but it sounds like a generator. Is that the storm?
That's the storm. That's, I believe, a combination of just the wind, and also the wind as it whips through our tower makes an amazing sort of a freight train sound. The rain has started to come a little bit heavier. It's still coming in waves along with the winds. My photographer's having trouble steadying himself at some times. A little difficult to shoot with the camera on one shoulder and then get hit by some of these very strong winds at the same time. Right now we're just outside of our truck. As you know, we're at about the Dade and Broward County line, and we're well inland, so we're really in no danger of the storm surge. But the winds have started to pick up considerably now, as you can see. So has the rain, for that matter.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is that you're holding that microphone quite a ways away from your mouth, yet I can hear you perfectly fine.
Well, it's just that, well, this microphone happens to be pretty unidirectional and also the top quality, so no problems there. It is very loud. We have things called IFB. In other words, it's an earpiece that we wear so I can hear you and hear the air. And I have my walkie-talkie, the volume on it cranked up all the way. There was another large gust. It's interesting, and when you can hear, just before the really big gusts of wind hit, you hear that rumble and that roar start. And now we've gotten accustomed to hearing the rumble and the roar, and then right after that is when we get punched with the very large gusts of wind, as we've mentioned. I don't know if you can see, we've just spin around quickly, and you can see well, there's Diane's back, but this is you can't see anything.
No.
There you go. There's our windshield wiper. Way to go, George. We're going to send it back to you, Ann.
All right, Todd, thanks very much, and we're going to send it right over to Walter with the latest details on what's happening where. Walter?
And all our computers took hits, and we don't have much information going on right now, but from a little bit of radar data we have, it looks like the eye is approaching South Biscayne Bay. The western eye wall is right over Key Biscayne and Elliott Key right now. That's where the strongest winds are, and they're going to be continuing. We just had a gust of 90 miles an hour on Miami Beach, 72 sustained winds, and a gust up to 90. So the winds are still going on. And here's a look at what we have on the radar, and it doesn't look like much, but here's the eye wall right here, the orange part that you can see in the fairly relatively calm center. Now the northern edge of that eye wall is passing right into the Coral Gables area right now and over central Biscayne Bay, and it looks like it's going to move right across the state. It's picked up a little forward speed. It looks like about 20 miles an hour forward speed now, which is a good thing for us because the heavy winds and the rains won't last as long. But it's a mean-looking storm, and like I said, Miami Beach, right in this area here, had a gust of 90 miles an hour just a little while ago. And as it traipses across South Florida, we'll try to keep you informed. We're trying to get our computers back, and right now I think we're